Helix.
Yeah,
That's
and
what you're
also
doing.
like one of the characters can just turn invisible whenever they want. Why can they do that? Why is that?
Why?
Why did like why can they do that? And why did the character like why was that the last character? Like why did it end there? Like that's the end game for that. Okay.
But still, despite the variety and ridiculousness of some of the Arden's characters, bring back my boy Helix. We got instead the ramen girl.
God, what if we got Helix instead of? Oh,
I
Helix would be such a degenerate character in this game. God.
Oh, absolutely, but it would
That'd
just be so
sick,
goofy.
We talk. Oh my God, Helix pancaking. Like the character would just be straight bad.
Oh my God, no. Yeah, because he could crouch like snake crouches.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Never mind. I don't want Helix anymore.
We would not have that character would not get off the ground. Absolutely banned from day one. We're glad you're here, Min Min. And so is Pink Fresh, reflecting that Rob Laserback, but already down to stock. This Big Boss is no slouch. And 84, if this is the Big Boss from Mexico that I think it is, this is a Rob with an 84% win rate with a lot of games played. So this is this is that Big Boss. So Pink Fresh has a pretty equal competitor here.
Yeah, and you can kind of see the flip side to why Rob can be so good is he can play the projectile game all he wants. He can play with this lead, but when push comes to shove, his edge guarding toolkit is super good. And find yourself between a rock and a hard place, between a gyro and a robot, and that's many a stocks have been taken, and yet another one stacks on. As a 3 stocks to 1 lead heads out for Big Boss, and he doesn't look like he's trying to lose his first, but Pink Fresh might be one step ahead.
And Pink Fresh has been making those kinds of plays for 10 years. That was absolutely a veteran roll read right there. And you don't like that's the sort of thing where like Pink Fresh is not going to get Pink Fresh is not going to panic from being down 2 stocks because for one thing he knows that his character can do this, but for two, once Pink Fresh gets that kind of roll read and sees that, because look at this is the last stock even game. This is okay. Pink Fresh is winning this game now.
Yeah, he got a couple grabs
for the majority of the game, but he sure as hell is winning now.
It's kind of the power of Min Min. Like her advantage, like speed run stocks. Like any percent, here we go. Like there is she puts on so much damage, particularly after a grab, like with that powered up dragon and the fact that smashes link into each other so reliably. But
oh no, that's it though. Good
yeah,
try.
that's a closing statement if I've ever seen one. Big Boss cleaning up what was starting to really get out of hand. And, hey, Rob Nair, like we've shout outs to Christmas in chat with the buck Rob Nair, as we can see what it leads into. You can kind of understand where he's coming from.
Absolutely. I think they were saying that about EOF, but I'm sure the sentiment is shared to Big Boss as well. But Big Boss showing out right now, unfazed by the opponent, but like we said, you have to give Pink Fresh the requisite amount of respect. Big Boss is doing that and earning his own, like absolutely. So, what's the response here from Pink Fresh? You have to wonder, like, because there was a really really good stretch there for Pink Fresh. I certainly would not expect a character switch, but I really am curious to see what the stage is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, Pink Fresh it took a while for him to find a home with a character. Experimented with Wolf and ZSS and plenty of others, but it seems like the Min Min is full on the character he's been going and planning to go for the foreseeable future. Town and City just kind of offers even better of what PS2 might in some ways. It's a long stage and Min Min's got long arms, but good saving of the jump, yet gyro can be such a hassle to deal with for a character whose one recovery route is, am I in range to grapple?
That's right. And Min Min's a lot better at answering that question than other characters.
Right,
that's just a little bit out of range. But Megawatt doesn't care.
Yeah, a lot of megawatt in this matchup thus far, which may just be a cause of the matchup. Rob a little bit harder to clip with, or not necessarily harder to clip with down-angled Ram, but it doesn't necessarily do as much.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, I love that setup there, and BigBoss kind of just got zombied there.
Oh man.
I don't know what else to say.
I get the reference though.
Yeah.
Yeah, yet another pivot grab coming out. Now Pink can start playing with the lead instead. Will that do it? Shout out to Town and City, because he did go pretty straight up, but the high ceiling saves him for yet another couple interactions. And as long as Pink has stage control, he should be feeling mighty comfortable.
Yep. And you bring up the megawatt earlier. I tend to think that like megawatt is the kind of the go-to arm just in terms of sheer damage output. Like it's like megawatt or ram. Do you want safety or do you want damage? If you feel good about your ability to hit with the megawatt, then that's your go-to. If you ram is kind of the arm that Min players can get forced onto if their opponent is avoiding megawatt well enough. But if you can get that, you have no reason to switch off a megawatt ever.
I don't know if I would 100% agree, but I feel like it's definitely the more reliable one in this matchup because Megawatt is more likely to hit the bigger body of R.O.B. Like you can, you can let it be a whole lot more active because it is moving a whole lot slower. But that will be the stock. Will it? Yes, it will.
Okay.
Even if it didn't blast zone, it put him out of range.
Right. And that's the thing with that's the other thing with Min is that Min no jump. Bad recovery. Like Min with no jump off stage should be dead just about every time. Like unless you're Little Mac or something. But I mean, we've seen some Little Macs that are going to go for some freaky stuff. So maybe they're willing for it.
It's one of those characters that like you do have to respect off stage to some degree because those arms are still tools that they can use even while in midair. But yeah, like you gotta edgeguard this character. You can't get into an on-stage brawl fest with a character that reaches across town and city. Like it's not happening.
And you see the megawatt. I think we're gonna see the megawatt probably for the remainder of this game because 1 megawatt forward air, 1 megawatt in air, like especially high up, megawatt's gonna get the job done.
Yeah, but he does have to be careful with how many times he's thrown out just raw smash attacks.
Oh, but there's the ram. Okay. I wouldn't think Min needs much more damage here, and she does not.
Swapping between arms is the main tool of what can separate mid-level Min-Mins from high-level Min-Mins. Mid-level Min-Mins, like, they see a situation, they swap to an arm, and they'll stay with that arm until they recognize, like, a new situation. That, like, oh, I really want Megawatt for this, or I really want Ram for this, etc., etc. Pinkfresh has been frequently saying, hey, we're playing a big, like, just poking game where, like, you're across the stage and shooting laser and stuff. I'll switch to Ram, have higher range, try and catch jumps. And when you come in, that's when I'll quickly swap to Megawatt. And at high percents like that, he doesn't need a Megawatt smash. He just needs a quick tilt. And that'll wrap up game 2. Game 3 now. Still best of 3 right here. This is gonna be the decider.
And this is the stage. You never want to fall into at GGxC. You never ever want to fall into losers early. And winners round 1 of top 64 is no exception because it's so hard with the names. With the top level and even mid level overperforming names that are in these brackets, it's so hard to go down to losers this early and then make one of the only 4 top 8 loser spots that we have. So for both of these players, they have the capacity to fight through losers, but you certainly don't want to have to. And BigBoss might not have to if they can keep hitting setups like that. Pinkfresh already on the back foot here, and BigBoss not wasting any time at all.
Oh, that is so fortunate that the BigBoss had dipped just a little bit too low. But Yeah, he is not trying to stop unless he wants to. It's like, I'll take a breather here to charge up my gyro and see if I can get my my
Right?
resources together. But if I'm going in, I'm not letting you breathe. Yeah, rolling to ledge, trying to set up the same kind of spot. Great parry, but man, like he's been lapped in percent, and there's only so much that Pink Fresh can do. Like, yeah, he's gonna start swinging with Megawatt Nair, try and play this pretty safe. But
Already
it's also a
huge
whole lot
damage
slower.
on Pink's second stock as well.
Yeah,
And
like
the DI from I keep wanting to say Kamina, but the DI from BigBoss has been there, which like it has to be as well from against Min Min.
Yeah, Miss Tech. That's a free down smash on the down tilt. Something that BigBoss hasn't really been like frequently using. Most of the time, he ends up going air to air or looking for down tilt. But when or looking for like forward airs and stuff. But when he finds these clips, he takes them for a ride. The amount of coverage he supplied, like he got the first hit with like a dash attack. It was like dash attack fair. It's like, okay, this is not a true combo, but I'll run forward and I'll down tilt and I'll make you air dodge out. And air dodging towards ledge when Min Min is forced to try and go